And I just love the signs that have been added in, just the realism. You turn right into the airfield and you've got all the custom fencing running along, again with some more foliage that the team have added in to really bump up the realism.
Runway 09, clear for takeoff, easy 93 Tango Victor.
Hello, Flight Sim fans, and welcome to the Practically Geek channel. In today's episode of the best freeware add-ons, I'm heading to Aldinga Airfield here in southern Australia to show you a freeware scenery by AUscene, which you can download directly from their website, and the link can be found in the description down below. Before we head into the freeware add-on, let's have a quick look around the default scenery first to give you a good idea of what this airfield looks like prior to you installing the AUscene freeware. Firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who is a subscriber, who has viewed my videos and generally just supports my channel. It has now gone past 1,000 subscribers, so I am absolutely delighted. Nothing's going to change. You're still going to be getting the same videos from my channel, and just, yeah, thank you everyone who has helped the channel grow and grow over these past couple of months. So, Aldinga Airfield in the south of Australia. It's just south of Adelaide. In my preview video, you would have seen little bits of the AUscene scenery. But now I'm going to be giving you a more in-depth look. And I also did a flight from here to the Adelaide City pack from Orbex as well. You can check those out in my video section. And as a default scenery, it's not too bad. Auto-gen buildings seem to be in the correct positions, which is quite a good thing. Scale, size, height and dimensions of the buildings are okay, especially these rows of hangars. They actually match up quite well. But the scenery itself, it feels blank. There's a lot of asphalt and gravel on the ground, and then there's no kind of, you don't see many fences or any kind of ground clutter in these default sceneries. But it would have been nice for this to kind of be enclosed in with some kind of fence. And the ground texturing on the asphalt, again, we're seeing this quite a lot in these default sceneries. It seems patchy, like it's water damaged almost. The two hangars here are definitely greatly placed, and I could probably say they are quite a good size scale. They do match the ones here at Aldinga. So stay with me as I load into the AUscene scenery and explore the changes they've made to improve this airfield. Welcome to the AUscene Aldinga Airfield scenery, and wow, what a great transformation from the default scenery into this freeware scenery. And did I mention it was freeware? Of course I did, because it is the best freeware add-ons video, and I mentioned it quite a lot in my preview and my flight video. But it's just incredible. AUscene have given us this payware quality scenery and said, here you go guys, that's on us. You can have it for free and enjoy it, and it is absolutely incredible. We're going to have a look around now and check out some of the details, check out some of the night lighting, maybe even some rain, because I can show you something very, very cool with the rain weather, the rain weather with this one. So let's get into it. Just while we're here though, before we head into the airfield and the buildings, etc., let's just have a look at these lovely hay bales and the custom windsock there with the tyres running around the base of it. And I think it adds really nice realism, especially if you are landing on the dirt runway, for example, or the asphalt runway. You'll see these on the left or the right, depending on which way you land. And yeah, I think it just adds some nice little realism into the field, which was once bare and didn't have anything on it. So let's do our first sweep across the top of the airfield just to see the layout and what's being added. I think more hangars have been added in. They've got this lovely green colour on each hangar, actually. They all seem to be painted the same colour. We've got some utility sheds and lovely detail in fencing and custom foliage being added in. The ground texture and that you can plainly see has lots of weather and marks, tyre marks from the planes and the ground vehicles. The buildings below us now with the benches, and it just looks like 1,000 times better. We did have buildings in the default scenery, and it did give, it did look okay. But especially when you've got all these little details like the bins, the custom telephone mast, I'd imagine. I don't think they were there before, and it just looks a hell of a lot better, doesn't it? And I think the shot here just sums up the level of detail, really. You've got custom ground clutter besides the lovely new custom hangar there, custom foliage, new hedge and bushes, the custom fence running alongside the road, and it looks great. Absolutely fantastic work by AUscene. This is also a super cool shot because you can see more of the custom foliage. These custom signs are insanely crisp. They're very, very, they're good resolution. But just check out the metal poles and the bars holding up those signs. Can you see all the rust and the dirt and imperfections in them? Again, this is something that the developer chose to do. They actually didn't really have to add all that in. But they did, and look at it. It looks fantastic. And can you see the plane spotter just on the left taking a shot there of the incoming planes, which there aren't any, but he seems perfectly content. And that's another lovely detail. And these custom people that AUscene have added into their scenery are really good standard. Actually, they look more human, like more realistic than some of the others we've seen. Take you back to the first episode of this series as well, where we looked at the McLaren Airfield in Slovakia. There were some really good custom people added into that scenery, and again, I'll be showing you those in just a moment, just to show you what they look like. And I just love the signs that have been added in, just the realism. You turn right into the airfield and you've got all the custom fencing running along, again with some more foliage that the team have added in to really bump up the realism. And again, a lovely shot of the level of detail that the team at AUscene have added into this scenery. The 3D people, again, the guy on the bike itself is modelled absolutely meticulously. That you can see just so much detail in kind of the rusty kind of wheel arches and the rust even on the chain going around the pedals, for example. And again, the 3D model itself is great. Look, the textures on the jeans and on the hoodie, the sign board and the kind of the signpost or sort of notice board behind them there is very, very high in resolution. The sign, the no smoking signs. The fuel tank is probably one of the most detailed I've seen in a scenery. It looks fantastic. I'll show you that in a bit closer up in just a second, but I will show you some of the other 3D people around just to show you the detail in them. There's some guys sitting here at the cafe. I love the picture of the biplane here on the right of this gentleman having his tea or coffee. Again, details in the shirt, the shoes, and the gent in the background again looks fabulous. And even though they don't animate, they still make the place feel alive, don't they? That's what I think. And do you know what? The tables are super crisp. The wood grains in everything. It's just fabulous. It really, really is. It's great work, and it's unbelievable that this is free. Just a better look here. You can see AUscene on the poster board there. Adelaide biplanes, the custom flowers, the foliage draping across the roof areas. It all looks really, really nice. The standard is fabulous for a free scenery. I can't help but say that quite a lot. It's just incredible. So AUscene did reach out to me and said, listen, do you want to preview and make some videos on this freeware scenery we've got out? And of course I said yes. The Ayre's rock scenery is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. And when I was talking, I was asking about the scenery, and they said, listen, look at the fuel pump. We've even gone ahead and put all the digits on the display, and look at that. It's just mind-blowing. And what I've only just noticed now is this little sign that says hose rewind, and look how detailed the button is, and the fact that you can actually read hose rewind. I mean, that's just insane, isn't it? You could see the dirt on that little tiny sign. Look at all the little bits of what maybe probably finger marks and just transfer. It's just the shininess off the hose kind of housing, just mind blowing. Another look at more custom signage. These vintage biplane posters here are very, very super crisp, and you're able to just read them even from this distance. The toilet sign, the flight office, the old Adelaide biplane sign just further up on the top of shot there on the side of the building. And what's not to love? It's a super scenery. It really is. And just a better look at the ground texture in here, you can see what looks like to me oil slicks and tire marks and just really good texture. And overall, you can actually see the grids in the lighter colour in the centre here, the metal grids in the ground there. And look at all this ground clutter, barrel drums with oils in it, ladders, cones, pallets, and just take it all in, guys. It's just incredible, isn't it? And as mentioned in my preview, there is a lovely animated flag, very, very smooth in FPS, and it just looks very natural. The Aero Club on the left here with some lovely PBR textured windows, and the hangars are fabulous. You can actually start cold and dark inside those hangars, and we'll be going into more in depth with these because the night lighting is fabulous in there. And also next up is the lovely little feature of the animated, well, the windows, the skylight windows actually interact with the rain, or sorry, the rain interacts with them. So let's check that out now because it looks super, super cool. And just look at that. It's absolutely fabulous. Look at that. The rain as well. Have you noticed as well, it doesn't actually hit it straight down, if you know what I mean? You're not getting droplets on it. You're actually getting these streaks that almost look like they're running down the glass because it is a slanted roof. And that is really, really amazing detailing in this scenery. It's fantastic, and it is one of the features that is mentioned. If you want to read more of the features, I've put them in the description, or you can read them on the download page, which I've also linked down in the description. So the download size for this scenery over on the AUscene website is 1.1 gigabytes, and once it's installed into your community folder, it comes in at 1.88 gigabytes, which I think is perfectly reasonable. It's a very good file size for the level of detail that AUscene have put into this scenery. So I think with that being said, it is now time to roll back our clocks to 1 a.m. and check out the night lighting for Aldinga Airfield here in the south of Australia. And just look at this, guys. Isn't it fantastic? I really love these lights here inside the hangar. They're not like a bright white. They're a kind of a yellowy, more older looking bulb. And I just, this reflections off the Diamond aircraft here is fantastic. It looks so realistic. I just love it. I really do. And you can see just to the left all the different bits of the what we can see of the scenery in the background has been lit up. And let's just have a little look around and see what other bits of night lighting we can see around this lovely little airfield. So I personally think the airfield is lit up very realistically at night. We've got the lights on the side of the buildings, and the only obviously unrealistic thing you can see is the people still sitting there at 1 a.m. in the morning. But I think in general, where is lit up for a reason. The security lights on the side of the buildings, and not much of this airfield is lit up to a massive extent. We still have the floating orb lights, as you would know from my videos. Every time I spot them, I like to mention them. We all know that this is something that the developers can't change or take out for now. Please, Asobo and Microsoft, change that in the SDK so the creators can take them out. And because as you can see, it just looks a bit odd. But again, sometimes developers add in a custom lamp or pole, or to make it into what looks like a street lamp or an apron light, but it's not always applicable. Actually, sometimes they're placed in a position that you can't really do that. The asphalt runway does have night lighting. Again, I'm awful at this. Please let me know if this particular airfield has night operations. I'm assuming it does with the amount of research and just the detail that's been added in by AUscene. And again, the windsock is kind of illuminated there. Looks very eerie, actually, out in the middle of the field on its own. And just jumping over the top for a kind of a bird's eye view of the airfield, I think it looks fantastic at night, really. I really do. I think where the light is in each individual position, it is very realistic. Lights illuminating part of the apron, part of places with like refuse, like bins, and the little area there with the barrels in, and the ladders will be lit up, for the workers, etc. The car park and the road heading down to the main road by the entrance there is all lit up, and yeah, overall I think it's a very, very great bit of night lighting. So it is that time again to head into a before and after montage where I can show you the transformation between default scenery and this freeware scenery a bit better. At the top you'll see what the scenery looked like before I added the AUscene scenery, and at the bottom what it looks like now in various different locations in and around the airfield. And feel free to pause it at any moment to give you some time to switch between images and just really appreciate what AUscene have done. So let's get into that now. That was Aldinga Airfield here in the south of Australia, not too far from Adelaide, and this has been a AUscene scenery which is available over on their website now. It should be available. If it isn't, if you're finding that it's saying out of stock, it might just mean that I've released this video a bit prematurely, in fact. So not too long till it releases, but I believe it will be ready for you once you've watched this video. So if you go over to the link in the description down below, download it, and then unzip it into the community folder, and you will have it in there to explore and do some flights with. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Practically Geek channel for more videos just like this. Thank you for watching, and again, thank you for the lovely support to my channel, and I will see you again very, very soon.